All right, chaps and chapettes, let's get into it. Picture this, it's 2005. You're sitting in front of your chunky PC and you just finished coding something that took you 3 weeks. Now, fast forward to today, 2024, and AI looks at you and says, bless your heart, champ. All right, because now Google's Project IDX, which you can see right here, is out here flexing like the Dwayne Johnson of free AI code editors. And this thing writes code faster than your mate disappears when the bill shows up. It's got templates, previews, integrations. It might as well make you coffee whilst you're at it. And it's completely free. Today, I'm going to show you how this works. And we're going to see if this thing can code and outcode the big boys. Cursor, Bolt, Windsurf. I'm naming names today. That's right. And I'll be testing it live. So if you have questions, feel free to ask as we go along. In fact, this should be like a challenge where we build websites together. And if you want the video notes from this, just get it straight in the QR code from today. So we're going to be testing out, for example, building apps, switching between the web and mobile previews, like I'm actually know what I'm doing. And you'll see everything, the wins, the fails, and possibly my laptop catching fire. And if you're looking to rank websites, if you're looking to get more leads, traffic, and sales, and all the good stuff, then we're going to make sure that we cover that as well. So stick around and let's get straight into it. All right, so what we have here is we have IDX, and my camera is so blurry right now. All right, so now we have IDX, and this is completely free to access, right? So it's available at idx.dev. And it is a tool that's just come out from Google. Now, I think it has actually been out for a while, but it has some new features that basically allow you to code kind of like, for example, you know, you got Cursor, you got Bolt, you got Windsurf, you got all these powerful tools for coding. And this one is completely free. And additionally, you can plug in sort of any API that you want, right? So for example, if you go into bolt.new, and I'll pull this up side by side, this is why, you know, in many ways, Project IDX can be bolt.new. So if we look at bolt.new, which is another website builder, you can see here that you can't really select the API that you want to use, right? And if you can't select the API that you want to use, then it's very hard for you to switch between them, you know, customize the project, whatever you're building, etc. Whereas if we go directly inside idx.dev, let me grab and click through now, we can choose which project we want to build first of all. So you can see here, for example, we can switch between Angular, between Next.js, Flutter, Gemini, and Jerome said, I saw your video about it, but it seems more difficult than Windsurf or Bolt. We'll test it out today. It definitely seems like you've got a bit more back and forth, I think, when you're actually creating it, but it does have some interesting stuff as well. So like one of the things that's a big improvement on this versus say Cursor and that sort of thing, right? If we check out, for example, you've got the import a repo option here, right? Which means that you can actually import a GitHub. So you can actually import directly from GitHub straight into your project, which is super interesting as well. So let's give this a whirl, right? We're going to go onto GitHub. I'll try and log in right now if I can remember my login details. And I think what you can actually do is just log straight from GitHub. You can take this and plug it straight into your project inside IDX. Let's give it a whirl, see what we got here, see what we got. All right, so I'm going to go back. We'll have a look through what we got on the list. Let's take a look at this one, for example. All right, so we got the project right here. And then what you can do is you can import a repo. So you just get the github.com / and then I don't know if that's going to work right here. Let's see if that just works. If we take the URL like so, and then we're going to import it. And that is actually not working right there. It says IDX currently has a per user workspace limit. Please delete one or more workspace. All right, let's delete some of the old workspaces I had previously. So we're going to go through some of these workspaces. I'll just delete this one just so that we make room for the new one. Let's type it in like so. There's definitely a lot more back and forth. Like it's a bit more, it's one of those where like once you get your head around it, it's fine. It's not as difficult, I would say, as Cursor, but it isn't quite as simple as say something like Windsurf, which seems to just work every single time. So I'm going to plug this in now. Let's see if we can import it. It might just give me another error again because we're on a live stream. And we'll see what it does. So it's setting up the workspace, initializing the environment, and we'll see what it does from here. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff. So, I mean, number one, you can import directly from GitHub, which is super useful. See, for example, if you build a project and then you actually, let's say you've got it in StatBlitz, you can import that project directly into IDX. And then in IDX, you can edit that website, add more pages, improve the designs, tweak whatever you want, add more funnels, etc. So it does take a little while to load, I think, if it's a bigger project, like you can see right here. But let's open up a new tab whilst we're waiting for that. And we'll go back to IDX. And so whilst that's waiting to load in the background, let's see what we got here. We can also start building out a new project. So here's a project that we've installed from GitHub. You can see the Bolt folder and all that sort of thing. So wait for that to load. I'm going to click yes, see if we can get that going. Let's see what we got. See if this is going to work or not. So we're going to click on rebuild environment and see if that actually works. Let's see what happens next. Now, whilst waiting for that to be done, let's give it a whirl with a new Next.js project, right? So for example, we'll just put personal branding as an example. We're going to use Tailwind. We'll click create. In the meantime, that's still building out the environment. And now that's going to set up the new workspace. Now, seems to be doing something. If we go to project, there we go. We've got the preview popping up in the web. So basically what we've done here, just to explain, is we've imported the project directly from GitHub, like you can see. And then you've basically got the website where you can pick up and then, kick off again from where you started, essentially. Now, if you click on configure trusted domains, that's interesting. I wonder if you can add your own custom domain, but let's just click on open, see what it does next. So we're going to try and deploy it. And basically, look at that. That was not too hard, actually. I thought that would go terribly wrong on a live stream. So we can see here the website that we built, and it's got all the links, all the text, everything else on the website. And then on the website, which we've just imported from GitHub, this was previously created with Bolt, but we can basically edit it directly inside IDX now, which means that, for example, if you host a website on GitHub, you can edit it inside IDX, then redeploy it to GitHub later, or you can just host it on a test domain like it's doing right here. And all these links actually work, which is surprising, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's all working. It's all working. Nice. All right. So that's one way to use it. Let's go back to our personal branding project over here. Still setting up the workspace. And by the way, if you have questions as we go along about IDX, feel free to ask. And the first place that I would recommend starting, right, this is what makes IDX so powerful, is if you go to extensions over here, and then you type in Cline, right? So we're going to find Cline, C-L-I-N-E. We're going to click on install over here. We'll hit install. And Engage says how to send our chat or prompt on IDX. Good question. All right, I'll show you that in a second. So what you have to do first of all is once you've created a Next.js project inside IDX, from there, you're going to go to extensions. And then inside extensions, you would set up Cline, right? Cline, you install it. And from here, you can easily start getting set up on the project, right? So you can see it's installed now. And once that is installed, this is where you can start doing the prompts. So if you go to the left over here, inside Cline, inside there, you can start doing your magic inside the chat, right? So what you need to do first, though, before you've done any of that, you've got Cline here. I'm going to zoom in because I don't know if you can see that on the live stream. But you can see here, you can select between your APIs, right? So you've got API provider, and then you can choose between, say, OpenRouter, Anthropic, Google, Gemini, AWS Bedrock, OpenAI compatible LM Studio, and Llama, right? So if we go to Google Gemini, this is how I'm going to make it completely free for you, right? So we were talking about why is Bolt supposedly eating, why is IDX supposedly eating Cursor or Bolt or any of those sort of other programs for breakfast? It's because you can use it completely for free and you can add any API to it as well. So if we go inside here and we'll click on create API key, like so, We're going to select generative language. And then from here, we can grab the API key, plug that into the API key section over here. Like you see, hit let's go. And now you can see you've got access to Cline. Now, honestly, if you were doing this, if you really wanted to create something great, then I wouldn't recommend using subpar coding AIs, right? So the best API to use is Claude 3.5 Sonnet when you're coding for things like this, because it's just got much better coding capabilities. But if you want to do it completely for free, like I'm showing you today, then you can just get the API from Google AI Studio, right? aistudio.com/API key. Now, if you want all of the prompts that I'm testing out today and everything, all the video notes, etc., just scan that QR code right here. If you scan that QR code, you'll get access to all the video prompts, all the tools, all the tips, and also you get access to all the links that we're showing you today. And additionally, inside there, you will also get access to 50 free AI SEO tools. So it's a no-brainer scanning that QR code. I'll tell you that for free. So we're going to keep going through now. And if you want that, by the way, it's in the top right-hand corner, as you can see. And so if we go back to the chat over here, we can just say something like, okay, create a personal branding website for Julian Goldie and his SEO agency. Right? Now, when you're selecting which project to create, I would recommend Next.js. I tried Astro before, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Right? And then you can see here, I've got the chat and everything like that back in the background. Now, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to change the settings on Cline, because you can do it for free with Gemini, but it's going to require more work. And for the sake of this live stream and making it entertaining and actually making sure that everything works properly, we're going to switch over now. We're going to switch back to a different API. Now, what's interesting as well is like inside the model, when you select the settings, so if you select settings inside Cline over here, you can select the API provider, you can add your API key, but then you can also select between which model you use, right? So for example, you can choose like the new experimental versions, 1.5 Flash, 002, etc. So it's pretty useful because you can actually just choose between which API you want to select, right? It doesn't have to be like one specific model. So I'm going to grab an API key in the background for Claude, and we'll grab that. There we go, we got it. And I'm going to switch now to, where is it? Anthropic. Plug in the API key, like you can see right here. We've got the model, so you can choose between Sonnet, Haiku, Opus, and Haiku. I'm just going to go with Sonnet. I would say that's the best for coding right now. And you can also see here how you can select custom instructions, right? So, for example, when writing content, you can actually plug in a custom prompt. So if we go back into one of my favorite prompts for content, based on what's working for me, we'll scroll down and we'll see if this is going to work inside the custom prompts. So you can see I've selected that right here. We're going to go back to IDX, put that inside the custom instructions, and hit done like so. And also you can see here, you've got an option. So you can say, always approve read-only operations, right? So when enabled, Cline will automatically view directory contents and read files without you requiring to click the approve button. So that should save a bit of time, actually. I think that'd be super useful. We're going to hit done on that right now. I'm going to X off that, and then we're going to go back to the task over here. And then I'm going to grab the prompts that I was talking about before. Again, you can scan the QR code on this video. And we're going to select this prompt right here to build out our website. So I'm going to go to IDX, back into the personal branding project, hit enter, and there we go. All right. So engage. Hope that answered your question on how to use IDX properly. That's basically how it works, right? The fact that this is free is absolutely amazing, to be honest with you. But if I had to get really, really paranoid, and if I had my tinfoil hat on, in the same way that Google adds little footprints to the AI content it produces, I would be very interested to know if it actually adds a footprint to the websites that you build inside IDX. I'm not sure. Someone asked me that before, and I was like, maybe it could be the case. Rain Game says, hi, Julian. Happy to see you here. And Iwamba says, please pardon this unrelated question. It's all right, mate. It's all right. No problem. Any question goes today. I've had plenty worse on this live stream, I'll tell you that for free. So Ayuban says, please pardon this unrelated question. What should I do? My 3 weeks old currency conversion website got 20K impressions and 40 clicks to 0.2% CTR. What should I do because it seems too poor? I mean, number one, like when you're starting out a new website, right, these positions are going to be super low. So I wouldn't worry too much about CTRs. But if you want to improve your CTR, the best way to do it is to make sure that your content is relevant to what people are searching, right? So inside the meta tag, inside the meta description, inside the search intent of the content, because that's where Google's pulling that meta tag from 50% of the time. You really want to be thinking like, okay, is this the most relevant content to the topic? Like for me, for example, I've had projects where, you know, we've actually built websites where they get a ton of impressions for a certain tool on Google, but then actually before people even think about clicking it, they read the title and they're like, nah, that's not what I'm looking for. And so you get super high impressions, but very low CTR. But again, on a new website, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Like, CTR is not a big deal for a new website because your positions and your rankings are going to be super low anyway. Like if you're on the first page of Google, but you got a new website and it's like right at the bottom, your CTR is going to be terrible versus like, you know, if you're ranking number one where you're basically just sweeping all the top spots, right? You're sweeping all the traffic that comes from. So let's crack back into this now. We've got IDX ready to go. It's jumping at the bit and it's built out this website. So you can see here, we've got the website. It's created the SEO calculator and run prompt. SEO calculator, optimize your content strategy. I don't like the colors. This is one thing that I've noticed about IDX is like, it doesn't seem to be very good at deciding which colors to put. So why would you put like gray on a white background? Like that's just, I think as an AI, it knows not to do that, but it still chooses to do it, right? Then it's got this section right here. So let's just double check this actually works. We're going to put SEO like so, calculate SEO recommendations. So actually the tool works itself and the website works itself, but the design is just average at best. However, what I would say, and this is quite interesting, is with the custom prompts, it looks like it's actually used the custom prompts to create the content. So those custom prompts that we plugged in earlier, it's created some content underneath, right? Now, if we want to test this on a test domain, we can just click on the window sign over here. So we can click on open in new window, click on open from there. And then inside this section, it's going to open up the workstation, right? So we can just preview the website that we've just built in like one click. Super simple stuff. Now, again, I really don't like the design. I'm going to be 100% honest with you there. So I'm going to hit save like so. And maybe it's just not, it's worked on the CSS. Let's see what else it's going to do now. All right. So it wants the npm run dev, but I'm like, whoa, hold your horses, mate. This is not ready to go live. So from here, what I'm going to say is just make the website more beautiful, you know, add more contrasting styles, add minimal text, etc. It's got to have a bit of boom, a bit of va-va-voom, as they say. So I'm going to put that here, va-va-voom. We'll head into like so. One of the interesting things as well is like you can actually screenshot a website and then you can clone it, right? I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, super interesting stuff. So Harry Minge. Has someone just been, I don't know. I'm not even going to say it. All right. So, hey, Julian, does this put good images in website projects as well, or I have to find? So I would say usually these sort of projects, unless the API can generate images, you're probably going to have to find that yourself. So I don't think it's going to create the images for you unless you got a really good API for doing that, right? So if we look through the content, yeah, I mean, there's no images inside there. But honestly, like, unless the images are good, I just don't include images anymore inside my content because, you know, what's the point? Like, what is the point of adding images if it's just like AI generated fluff? It's got to be like something super nice if I'm going to add an image to my site. Because I know most people, they're not even going to check out the images. They don't even care about the content. Like, they're just going to scan through, especially these days. Like, everyone prefers video. They're just going to scan through the page and be like, right, boom, click this or buy this or book a call here, etc. Right? Maketa says, can I use a different niche without my main domain being similar? Can I use a different niche without? I'm not sure what you mean right there, but feel free to ask. Feel free to clarify the question, Matthias. And Tom says, can this only make websites? If I wanted to make a tool, say to scrape YouTube comments or Reddit threads for insights, can I do that? I'm not 100. I mean, like you can see here, it can build tools, right? So, for example, what we're building out here is basically a tool. So you've got like the SEO calculator website. It's looking a lot better actually in terms of the content. The design is still a little bit trashy. I think you'd have to give it like specific recommendations on the design, but you can see here how you can create like basic tools, and then from here you can basically create those on the spot, right? So it's good for creating websites, good for creating tools. Let's try and create something a bit more interesting now. So what I'm going to do inside the chat, and we'll try and use your example, Tom, right? I'm not going to create something that scrapes YouTube comments or Reddit comments because I'm not sure how to connect the API to the internet. Maybe if Cline could use like Perplexity, or maybe Open Router can connect to the internet as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. Potentially you could do something like that. But let's go back into here now. All right, it's updating the CSS, so that should look better actually after a second. But what I want to test out now is building out some tools. So let's give it a whirl and see if we can build out some tools using this process as well. So let's see what we got here, what other SEO tools we can build. I'm going to hit save on that, see what it does. And in the meantime, let's start building out an example tool. So let's just open this up, see what it's looking like now. Yeah, is it responsive? Yeah, it's responsive as well. That's pretty good. All right, so if you want to build your own tool, we're going to go back now, and I'll show you what I think is best. All right, it's very experimental and all that sort of thing, so we're all beginners here. We've all got the beginner mind. But if we go into Project IDX, and then from here, we're going to select Flutter. I think Flutter is probably the best for creating apps. So I'm going to go to Flutter, and then we can create some apps. And what I mean by this is like tools, apps, etc. Like it's pretty good for that. I'll show you some examples in a minute. I've got to delete a workspace, so make sure that you realize if you create multiple workspaces here, you seem to be able to have a maximum of 5 at once before you have to delete one, right? So after that point, you can't add any more. So we're going to delete that. And then from here, we're going to go to, where is it now? Flutter. We'll put SEO tool. Great. Setting up the workspace. Let's answer some questions in the meantime. So what we got here, okay, it says, how can I obtain AdSense approval for a subdomain? Is my subdomain or main domain's SEO affected by my primary domain? Yeah, SEO is definitely affected by your subdomain, and vice versa. When it comes to getting approved for a subdomain on ads, I've never seen an issue with that, really. I mean, like, yeah, it's a good question. I just don't see people adding ads to multiple subdomains. I guess you could probably install it on, if it's the same domain, you know, and it's just a subdomain, I think you could probably just re-add it. I don't think I see any issues with that, unless they're refusing to set up the code and that sort of thing. But like everything should just come under one umbrella, I would say. Otherwise, if you're trying to get approved separately for AdSense, I mean, it's just the same as any sort of process, right? You're just trying to get that, you know, follow all the guidelines that they recommend, etc. So here we have the app example. And again, we're just going to go back and we're going to install Cline. So we'll go to extensions, Cline, select a good one, hit install, wait for that to load. So it's installing now, as you can see. Taking its sweet time. There we go. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab that API key from before, from Claude. So we're going to go, is it installed? Well, it's taking a little while, that, isn't it? Let's have a look. Have we got Cline down there? Yeah, we got Cline. All right. So inside Cline, we'll add the Anthropic API key, like so. We're going to hit let's go. And then let's see if we can build something here that will be quite useful. So let's say create an SEO keyword tool where people can get relevant keywords. Oh, what's it doing here? Can get relevant keywords, then you add an API key to use it, e.g. Gemini API key. To get started, people can just plug in their code, the niche, after adding the Gemini API key. It generates really nice keyword ideas for SEO. All right, we'll take that prompt and we'll see where it works. I'm going to add it to the video notes anyway in a second. So if you want to grab that prompt from me, I will plug it down here. In fact, if you want to get some SEO tool ideas, let me find this for you. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I created loads of SEO tools with Bolt previously, like you see right here. If you want to get access to all those prompts, I'll plug it in the video notes from today. And then you can just steal it from me, like you see right here inside this document. So let's go back to the project. Where are we now? We'll let close that one. I'm going to approve that. It's a messy screen, isn't it? Look at this. Hit save, see what it does. It's just coding it out of the project. I think once it's finished coding, then the preview should actually work. But right now, the preview is looking absolutely terrible. Again, I definitely think like IDX requires a bit more technical expertise than say something like Bolt or Windsurf. But this is completely in the browser as well, right? Which is, you know, if you compare it to say, if you compare it to say something like Cursor, or for example, Cursor, you got Windsurf, like these are hosted locally, which means it's harder to deploy typically because you have to grab all the project files and then upload it to Netlify, etc. I'm assuming with IDX, you can just launch a domain straight off the bat. So it's creating the pages now. I'm going to hit save. This is the other thing as well, right? If I give exactly the same prompt to Windsurf, it will just do it. It will just get on with it, you know? But with IDX, you do have to like, you know, accept everything basically. So let's see what we got. It's creating it now. We'll hit run command. It's installing the dependencies. I can't see a preview. Let's see what we got. Maybe it's just too difficult for it to do. So it says, task completed. Create a keyword tool. To use this tool, here's how you do it. It's creating a preview over here. So I guess you have to reload the server. Let's see if this actually works. Ah, yeah, look at that. You bang in the Gemini key, you slap in the niche. It probably still doesn't work, but we'll see if it works or not. We'll grab the API key like so. I'm going to delete that API key after the live stream. So, you know, don't steal it. And then from here, we'll type in the niche. So we're going to plug in SEO. Let's see if that works. Did someone say that actually works straight off the bat? Wow, look at that. Actually works. We've created an SEO keyword tool live on a live stream in like 5 minutes. That's pretty amazing, to be fair. I wonder if it's actually using the API or not. We'll see. I'm going to try using it without the API key. Let's see what it does. So we're going to have to wait a little while for that to preview. There we go. It's ready to go. And then I'm going to try using this without. the API key just to make sure it is actually using the API key. Let's see if it does. Yeah, so it says, please enter your Gemini API key first. Bear in mind, Gemini API keys are completely free. You can get them at aistudio.google.com. And then we're going to put the API key in here. We'll put it in the niche. We'll hit generate keywords. We've got some keywords. Not bad at all. It's not letting me copy and paste those though. Right, so we're going to have to give it a bit of feedback, but still, to build that so quickly is not bad at all. So now I'm going to say, right, allow the user to copy paste keywords plus give search volume scores plus give estimated keyword search volumes and make the design much more sleek and beautiful. Let's see what it does next. To be fair, to build that app so quickly is not bad at all. Not bad at all, my friends. Let's see what we got here. We'll try Ahrefs Keyword Explorer and just run through some of these. So SEO for e-commerce sites. Let's have a look what we got. It is a keyword. It's got a decent amount of traffic potential, right? So that's a keyword from Gemini inside our free keyword tool that we just tested out right here. There's the traffic potential, right? So it's actually getting a decent amount of search volume. I mean, it's a little bit obvious, but it actually works. Let's see what we got. Whilst we're waiting for this to load, by the way, if you need some help with SEO, if you want a free one-to-one link building acceleration session, feel free to get that. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. And on this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets of link building, we'll answer any questions you have. You learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors in link building and how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. If you sign up for 3 months, you will get 1 month free. If you sign up for 6 months, you will get 2 months free. And if you sign up for 12 months, if you sign up for a 12-month contract, then we will give you 4 months free. And I think out there, I don't see any other SEO agency doing that. So if you want to get that link in the comments description to book in a free call about that, we're going to get back to the project now. So it's enhance the app. Let's hit save like so. We'll wait for that to load. See what it does next. And by the way, if you want the recipe from IDX, if you want to see, I've actually got a full video on it right here if you want like a shortened tutorial. So you can see it right there. And if you want the recipe inside the video notes today, I'll plug it in. So I'm just going to grab an recipe from you today based on the video transcript from earlier today. But in the meantime, let's get back to IDX. So we're going to hit run command. And hopefully that should launch it. Let's see what it does next. Okay, so it should be launching it. Let's go back to the web preview. How do we refresh this? I want to get rid of that as well. It's so annoying. I'm going to say, okay, rerun the app so I can preview the new version. See what it does there. And in the meantime, let's grab this recipe. So grab that like so, and that will go inside the video notes from today. Just scan the QR code if you want access to all this. And you got all the prompts, all the SOPs, all the step-by-step processes that we use to generate websites like this and rank them. So we'll go back to the project now. Run command. How should you refresh the preview? That's what I want to know. Run Lighthouse. copy the link, share link preview, open in your new window. All right, let's see. We'll grab that and I'll just put that inside the chat. Now, what you're also going to see here as well is the API cost so far. So you can see it costs us 20 cents to build this keyword tool. Normally you're paying like thousands of dollars per year for keyword tools. We do at our agency anyway. So let's see what that's going to do now. So it's in debug mode down at the bottom. And we'll see what it does next. Oh, it's not liking that, is it? I'm not I've got to say, like, I mean, it's all right, but it's a lot more work, isn't it, than Windsurf or Bolt or any of these other tools. I mean, if I did the same thing inside Windsurf, we'd be done and ready to go right now. Rain Game says, can I preview the page? All right, let's have a look. Right. So as a prompt, let's try that. Can I preview the page? If anyone knows how to get the actual preview working, that would be absolutely great. Let's see what we're doing here. It's doing something. Not impressed. Not impressed at all. I'm just going to plug that problem directly into there. See what it does. But if anyone knows how to fix this, feel free to shout out. It's doing something, running an API request. It's just absolutely useless. But at least if you can see the tool at least. So let's copy the preview URL. And if we go back to IDX like so, I'll plug in the URL right there. If you just want to test it out, have a cheeky gander, etc., then the URL is right there. So mixed bag, I would say, is pretty cool because it's free, but it's pretty trash at the same time because it doesn't help a lot. Right? Like if you can't refresh the preview, it looks like it's doing something down there, to be fair. But if you can't refresh a preview, then what are we doing here? You know? Let's try and, do you know what? I might just do a hard refresh on the whole project, see if it works again. Ben Game says, seems like it's no windsurf. These programs are so new. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we've got 80 people watching the live stream right now, and I don't think anyone can figure it out. Maybe you just have to refresh the page, and then that'll give us a new preview of the content. Let's have a look. Let's see what we got here. Copy that URL again. Here's the preview. Still, actually, what's interesting is it remembers the API key. So let's put garden in here. We'll hit generate keywords. Yeah, it's not made those changes we asked it to, has it? Because you can't copy and paste it. UI is pretty bad. Ace says, is this comparable to Windsurf? I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, like if you're trying to build apps, I would say no. It just doesn't feel or look as good, but it's free. That's probably the biggest differentiator between them all. The other thing that I would say is like you can clone websites as well, which is quite interesting. So if we go back to Next.js, I'm giving up on that app. That was the keyword research. It was promising at first. It created the tool, but then it let me down on the edits, right? It doesn't seem like you can edit the app from what I can see. So we're going to go back to Next.js right now. And then from here, we'll give this a whirl. What we're going to say is, let's just create a random project name, and we'll try and emulate a new website, right? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. And we'll try and plug these directly into the environment on this project once it loads. Acer says better. I'm still not going to say it's better. Austin says the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Goldie. That's what I'm talking about, man. And Ren says seems like the page isn't updating in real time. Yeah, that's it. It just doesn't seem like the previews are updating when you ask it to. I mean, unless I might be totally stupid and missing something, but we asked the crowd, we asked the audience, 80 people watching. No one knew how to figure it out. So it's one of those, isn't it? And from here, we're going to go to this section, Cline. And then inside Cline, we just need to add we're going to add we'll add a Gemini key for this one. See if Gemini can do its magic instead. Claude let me down a second ago. And then, do you know what? We'll grab the content from jgoldie.com. So let's go to this website. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screenshot the site and ask it to clone my site, right? So if we go back to the screenshot, we're going to paste in the screenshot down there. Then we're going to scroll down. We'll try and paste this bit in as well. The thing is with cloning a website, it's like if you ask it to clone a website, you want to be able to, you want to be grabbing the whole website, right? Because otherwise, for example, if you're using V0 to do this, then it's going to have to like take a screenshot, then you scroll down, take a screenshot. Otherwise, it won't take the whole website. So I'm just going to say clone this website as a random example. It's thinking about it. Yeah. All right. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. All right. Acer says it's insane what timeline we are entering. Tech-oriented people who never like coding can now make apps with these programs. It's like a dream come true. It is absolutely wild. It's absolutely redonkulous what you can do right here. So what's it doing now? Please provide the URLs of the images and videos. I'm just going to say, just create a wireframe and I'll add them later. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Like, it's scary stuff. I mean, here's the thing. Like, you've got potentially got GPT-5 coming out soon. And then also you've got Google and ChatGPT both launching a browser extension that can basically navigate through your browser. And that's coming in January. So when that comes out, you can imagine the amount of tasks and the amount of admin that will be replaced by doing that, right? That's what scares me is not like where we're at right now, which is moving very, very fast. Like, I wouldn't hire a developer anymore, especially for front end stuff. Like, I'm just going to build it on V0, right? And save myself $10,000 or $20,000. So yeah, we're in a strange era where things are going crazy. Austin says, hey, question. Can you make a video on creating a free blog for beginning? Like, I don't want to invest into a website before I gain some traction, please and thank you. So if you want to learn how to do that stuff without a website, if you just type in LinkedIn Julian Goldie, you will see multiple different case studies of me ranking with LinkedIn, right? So if you don't want to pay for a website, then you can rank with tools like LinkedIn. Don't spam the platform, like create something that's valuable, but you can basically rank with these free platforms, right? It doesn't cost you anything to post on LinkedIn. Like, for example, if we put best SEO speakers into Google right here, you can see me ranking #1 with LinkedIn, right? And it's outranking some big names. You can see, like, it's outranking Yahoo Finance, it's outranking Backlinko, it's outranking Yax as well. And so this process works really, really well. And let's keep going through the project now. So we're going to hit run command, see what that does. Tom says, I requested a nightmare on App Street. That's exactly it. It's so true. It's so true. It's a nightmare on App Street. And IDX delivered that. It doesn't do what it says on the tin, but it did that. So let's have a look what it's doing now. So it's saying it wants to execute the demand. It's saying it's created the website. And I'm going to say, okay, let me preview the website. I'll just put that in the commands, see if that works. ACA says, what do you think the SEO meta is right now? Focus on internal. I think backlinks. Backlinks still the most important ranking factor, right? So, for example, we put something like best SEO agency, or let's put best protein powder on Keyword Explorer, right? Something like that. 45K traffic potential. You can see that the pages with the most backlinks are at the top, right? So 167, 238, 10, and then the page with the least backlinks, like all the way down here, like 0, 2, 3, 1, etc. Right? So typically the page with the least backlinks are at the bottom, page with the most backlinks are at the top. That tends to be the case over and over and over again for almost any keyword that you check out. So, oh, it's just absolutely terrible. Let's click on deploy now, see if that does it. It's not ready. It's not ready. Look at this. I mean, if you gave the exact same prompt into Windsurf, right? And let's do Bolt, because Bolt will be easier. So if we go into Bolt and we're like, okay, clone this website, and then we just say juliangoldie.com, and we'll hit enter. Let's just sign in. It's just going to go off and do it, right? Whereas IDX doesn't seem to want to let me preview it, right? So it said the open command failed because it's not available on the user system. The user wants to preview the website, blah, blah, blah. Not working. Okay, great. Whereas Bolt will just go off and get it. Austin says, I wanted to create a blog for like affiliate marketing to share my links on it. Yeah, so I mean, like LinkedIn ranks pretty well. So if you want like a free blog, just you can post on LinkedIn, basically like personal branding, got a lot of EAT on the profile. You know, the website has a lot of backlinks as well. And then you can rank with that. Jason says, OMG, I'm late. 44 minutes late. Yo, Julian, try V0, same prompt in there. Yeah, that's the thing. Like if we go back to, so we're on bolt.new and it's doing its magic. If we go to V0, let's try the exact same thing. So I'm going to copy this prompt like so. We'll plug that in, clone this website. And let's see what they came up with, right? So this is IDX. And it's actually, I can see it's created the page, but it's not letting me preview it, right? Which is strange. Let's see if we can review and explore review. No, it's not letting me do anything, is it? Yeah, whereas Bolt just works its magic. So I don't think Project IDX is better than Bolt right now. And let's have a look at V0. Seems to be doing its magic as well. It just seems to be a lot more effective, doesn't it? All right, let's see what V0. Ah, yeah, probably. Actually, this is interesting because you got IDX totally failed. Bolt.new did something very, very generic. Like it's not really cloned my website, is it? If we ask that, right? But if you go to V0, it's properly cloned the website. So I would say out for cloning, like it looks like V0 is probably the best out of all of them. Good shout, Jason. Shout out to you, mate. Good stuff. All right, so that's pretty much it for me. I've covered everything that you need to know about IDX. We've tested it for apps, we've tested it for websites, tested it out for tools, etc. If you want to get all the video notes from today, you can get that inside the AICO Success Lab. Just scan the QR code in the top right. You can see it over here. Scan that QR code or click the link in the comments. You get 50 free AI SEO tools, including a free content creation tool, one-click content optimizer, a free content humanizer that works absolutely beautifully, and 50 free AI SEO tools. Additionally, inside the classroom, you can see a full course on like how to use Windsurf, how to use Bolt, etc. Project IDX. And if you ever get stuck, you can ask 1,800 members inside the AI SEO Success Lab and just get your questions answered. And you see loads of people interacting with each other, lots of comments going on, lots of good stuff. If you have a problem, why not ask 1,800 people in SEO and they'll probably be able to help you. So that's pretty much it. But let's see what we got here. Jason says complimentary consult call with the cheeky geezer now. So if you want a consult call, feel free to book in a free SEO strategy session for everyone watching. Like, yeah, link in the comments description. And if you want to jump on calls directly with me, you can join the SEO Elite Circle. It comes with live coaching with me once a week, along with a one-to-one onboarding call. You'll be able to DM me inside the SEO Elite Circle. It comes with weekly action plans, case studies, etc., and even a Discord channel where you can connect directly with people as well. So loads of cool stuff in there, and you can see all the testimonials and all the people that we've helped, right? Like this is what it's all about. We've helped so many people inside the SEO Elite Circle. So like Chris, he got his first client, landed his first deal within 2 or 3 days of joining. You can see Frank, he landed positions 1 and 2 in 4 hours on Google using my tactics. You can see right there, Julian's tactics work. And you see all these amazing testimonials, right, from people that we've helped along the way. So it's just endless. We've helped so many people achieve so much. And that's what we're on a mission to do. That's why I do these daily live streams. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. If you use the code ELITE and you apply that discount code right here, you can save $2,600, right? It's only $997. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. Use the code ELITE to save $2,600 and hope to see you in there. Otherwise, just get a free SEO strategy session and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.